welcome to my house tour. We are on room 3 today and I'm going to share with you my kitchen. So at the moment we're in the adult room, but if you pan around and have a look, we go from dark to lightness. And this room is really the heart of our home. We spend a lot of time in here entertaining, cooking, having dinner with our family, and it has a really light and airy feel about it. Okay, so my inspiration for this room was Sydney, which is where I'm from. I'm desperately trying to hold on to my Australian roots, even though I've been here for 14 years, but there still is an Aussie in me. And I wanted it to be very much open plan and light and airy all through the year, not just in summertime. And we've done that in a couple of ways. So we've got big skylights, which I'll show you in a minute. We've also got these beautiful doors that just sweep open in the summer, and then you feel like you've got the outside in and inside out. And we've brought in lots of plants. The other thing in here you'll notice is there's a bit of an industrial edge. So whilst it's quite elegant with the marble, there's this edge to it because we've brought in industrial style materials through our furniture and some accessories, which I'll take you through in a minute as well. But I think what we should start with is the kitchen area. So my husband and I had a very clear vision of how we wanted this kitchen to look and work. We worked with some great kitchen designers, Matrix Design I think they're called, to bring it to life. So there's a few things that were a part of our brief. So we wanted it to have an industrial feel about it, but also it's a family home as well, so we didn't want it to feel too commercial. We love materials like marble, brass, stainless steel, concrete. All those elements had to be included as well. And you know, I use this for cooking with my family and having guests over, but it was also for House Curious as well, because we do cooking workshops, so it needed to work for that. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the details. We really did splash out on our kitchen, and actually I think the kitchen is one place where you can splash out because you use it so much, it adds value to your property, and I guarantee you in 5 years when you look back and go, oh thank God we spent that extra money, because it makes a huge difference. So one of the things we splashed out on was our gorgeous fridge from Sub-Zero. I just love the industrial vibe, it just fitted in so well. They're really good fridges and I love the size of it. The other thing that we did splash out on is the cooker as well. I'll show you, you can have a look later, but it's called a Wolf, so it's quite powerful. It's more of a commercial style cooker. And originally I was going to have it in the island, but in order to have it in the island we would need a big size hood. And it just wasn't working here because it was going to block out the views. So that's something to think about. So we've used fittings and fixtures to bring that industrial vibe in. These are handles from Buster and Punch, which I absolutely love in the brass. And we've got their light pendants here as well. And then we've got this beautiful tap from Zip Water. This is an Australian brand, and oh my goodness, I can't tell you how much I love this tap. It does so many things. So basically, you get your boiling water, you get your sparkling water, and you get cold filtered water. And for me, that's really important because it's great for cooking, but it means we don't have to buy plastic bottles of water anymore. We just use refillable bottles. And the sparkling water, I'll tell you what, when you've got a hangover, that is the best thing to have sparkling water on tap. It's the best. So yeah, I really love that. The herb garden. Now, I don't know where this idea came from, but I just always had this dream of being able to cook and just throw fresh herbs into my cooking. So we came up with this idea of having a trough built in to the island, and I just love it. I try not to kill the herbs, and we just like change them over depending on the season. I love mixing metals, so stainless steel and brass I think work well together, and you can see here it's just a little detail, but I think it makes a big difference. So I've got stainless steel, and then we've got this beautiful brass handle. It's got a vintagey feel to it, and I just think it adds more character. I also love the rippled glass. I've seen this in a lot of restaurants and bars, and so I wanted to bring that in. Again, it just has that industrial, commercial sort of vibe about it. This is our range cooker, which I was talking about before. I love it. And again, we splashed out on this because why not? It's for our Ever kitchen. And so we've got barbecue things. We have indoor barbecues. It's amazing. It's like the best steak you've ever had. I'm a big fan of having things on the counter because I think if you don't have it on there, it just feels cold and clinical. So put all your condiments out on the table, get your wooden boards on display like we have here. And I think again, just adds all that warmth. The other thing I should mention are our cabinets. We actually went for laminate in the end, which initially I was like, no way, I don't want to use laminate. But actually, these days, the printing is so good that you get a really good grain effect. And it's great for a couple of reasons. It's so easy to clean. And if you've got a large kitchen like we do, it's great because the wood, it won't buckle. So we were looking at reclaimed wood, actually really hard to get big pieces, and we were told that actually they buckle over time, and so it could be a bit of a hassle. So that's something to keep in mind. So the glass sliding doors really allow us to have that summer vibe all year through. So when it's cold, we've got them shut, the sun is beaming in. The summer we have them open, and I wanted to bring the outside in. So you'll see we've got lots of hanging plants. The plants are on these metal racks that I had made. We had a welder build them, so if you wanted to do something like that, just look up a welder in your someone local to you, and I'm sure they'll be able to create something. Also, that wall, it was blank for so long, and I filled it with art, and I just love it. That is my wall of dreams. So it just reminds me to appreciate things like, you know, our oceans and to dream. And I sit here every morning, I look at that, and it just inspires me, and it starts my day off right. So our hanging chair, our cold hanging chair that we sell at House Curious, sits here, and we use it all through the year. I love it. We either got the doors wide open and we're swinging away having some wine, or, you know, on a moody winter's evening, I'm sitting there with my red wine and maybe giving the girls a cuddle. Another way we brought in through an industrial vibe is through this beautiful table. So it's got this gorgeous wooden top, but the frames, if you have a look underneath the frame, mind any sort of dust you might see on the floor, but the frame is really heavy metal, again that industrial vibe coming through. But because we've mixed it with this beautiful wooden table, I think it's got the right balance. Some people ask me if there's anything I would change in my home. I'm actually pretty happy with it, but some of the accessories, like for example these chairs, I would love to have leather chairs, because I think when you've got lots of hard surfaces, it's good to bring in more tactile and softer materials. So like I have throws and rugs, but I think leather would be really nice, so I'm saving up for that one. And if you come over this way, this is another great piece of furniture that we have. We got this from the old cinema club, and I just love it again because it's industrial, and I get so many comments on that. It has a lot of character. The skylights are so important. It really just opens up the room, and I love being able to look up at the sky. There is light beaming through here all year round. We've put in glass panels, and again, it's just to have that flow of light going through the house. And it's a really nice architectural touch. So in this room, we decided to use polished concrete, so it's poured. You'll notice these gaps here. Basically, they have to cut through the concrete at certain stages in order to avoid cracking. So it looks like we've got massive slabs of tiles, but actually they're just, I can't remember what they call them, but I don't know, they cut through it anyway, so it just relieves the pressure and that avoids cracking. We've got underfloor heating. If you're going to have poured concrete, you definitely need to have underfloor heating. It's very cool in the summer, although when the sun's on it, it really heats up, which is quite lovely, but can be a bit hot sometimes. But in the winter, having that warmth under your feet is just divine. So even though it's a hard material, with the warmth, it does feel really cozy. Okay, that brings us to the end of our kitchen tour. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions at all, please put them below and I'll come back to you. I'll also tag all the people I mentioned below so you can check them out. I think it's a really beautiful day. I might go and just sit outside in the sun. So thank you for joining me. Take care. Have a great one. Bye.
Faith lets you fall into a house without a word. And only the size of your breath are heard.